47% of every waking hour you have ever lived. That is the percentage of time your mind is not in the room with you, according to a Harvard study of 2,250 people published in Science magazine in November 2010. 47%. Now hold that number while I read you something else from a notarized letter signed by a mortuary director in 1952. The body showed no signs of physical disintegration 20 days after death. That sentence is real. The mortuary director was Harry T. Rowe at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. Time magazine reported it on August 4, 1952. And right now, this week, that sentence is being used in a viral video as proof that consciousness controls reality, as proof that one specific book, read by some of the most powerful minds in modern history, contains a hidden science. There is a problem. 3, actually. And once you see them, you will not be able to unsee them in any video like this again. Here is what we are doing today. We are going to take that viral video apart, line by line. We are going to find out which famous names actually read this book and which ones were quietly invented. We are going to look at what the most cited meditation study of the last 15 years actually measured inside the brains of monks and Tibetan teachers, and why that finding is more useful than any of the levitation stories. And we are going to end with a single question. A question that, if you answer it honestly, will change how you receive every consciousness claim for the rest of your life. The video opens with 3 names: Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Paul McCartney. The pitch is that all 3 of them built their inner lives around the same book. I checked. Walter Isaacson's authorized biography confirms Steve Jobs read this book as a teenager, again on his trip to India in 1974, and once a year for the rest of his life. Mark Benioff, the Salesforce CEO, told the full story at TechCrunch Disrupt on September 10, 2013. Jobs gave a copy to every guest at his Stanford Memorial in 2011 in a small brown box. That part is real. Bill Gates is a different story. Gates has written publicly about the most influential book he ever received. It was Business Adventures by John Brooks, a 1969 collection of New Yorker pieces that Warren Buffett mailed to him in 1991. There is no record anywhere in Gates's writing or interviews of him endorsing the book the viral video names. The claim was inserted to inflate the social proof. And Paul McCartney is wrong. The Beatle who carried this book around, who handed copies out from the back of his car, was George Harrison. Ravi Shankar gave Harrison his first copy in 1966. 2 of the 3 opening claims, fabricated. Now back to that mortuary letter. The viral video says the body in the letter belonged to Sri Yukteswar, who was Yogananda's teacher. That is wrong on every level. Sri Yukteswar died in Puri, in eastern India, in March 1936. He was cremated there. There is no California mortuary case for him. The letter is about Yogananda himself, who died in 1952. And here is the part the viral version always skips. Yogananda's death certificate confirms his body was embalmed before the 20-day observation period. Embalming does what embalming does. The story does not require a miracle to explain it. The story requires a death certificate, which the people selling mystique never show you. Now the part that actually matters. The genuine Steve Jobs connection is more interesting than the inflated one ever was. In the same 2013 interview, Mark Benioff quoted Jobs' takeaway from the book in one line: "Look at the world from the inside out." That was the whole frame, not as mysticism, as a working principle. Jobs designed products by feel, then tested them. He trained an internal sense of what was right before any focus group could vote on it. That faculty has a name in the lab, and it is now one of the most measurable findings in modern brain science. Go back to that Harvard number, 47%. The reason your mind is not in the room with you almost half the time is that a specific brain network is running in the background, the default mode network. It is the system most active when you are not focused on what is in front of you, when you are replaying yesterday's argument, rehearsing tomorrow's worry, building up the running internal monologue about yourself. In December 2011, a team at Yale University School of Medicine, led by Judson Brewer, published a study in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. They put 12 experienced meditators inside an fMRI scanner and watched their brains across 3 different meditation styles: concentration, loving kindness, choiceless awareness. The result was specific. The 2 main hubs of the default mode network, the medial prefrontal cortex and the posterior cingulate cortex, went quieter in experienced meditators across all 3 styles. Not slightly quieter, measurably, repeatedly quieter. A 2015 review by Tang, Hölzel and Posner in Nature Reviews Neuroscience pulled the wider evidence together. This is the actual superpower the viral videos are pointing at without knowing it, not levitation, not bilocation, the trained ability to drop the volume on the self-narrating noise that runs almost half your life, to put your mind in the room with you, to design from felt sense the way Jobs did, instead of from the panic loop everyone else operates inside. That is brain imaging, not metaphor. And it is teachable. The book Jobs reread points back to a much older text, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, 196 short verses written somewhere between roughly 400 BCE and 400 CE. The second sutra of the entire work is 6 Sanskrit words: Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, the stilling of the fluctuations of the mind. That phrase is now used inside academic neuroscience as an operational definition. A 2015 paper by Klaus Berenson at the University of Aarhus, published in Frontiers in Psychology, proposed using Patanjali's framework as a hypothesis generator for fMRI research. And the part the viral video skips entirely. Chapter 3 of the Yoga Sutras lists the famous powers: levitation, mind reading, the whole catalogue. But Sutra 3.37, in Patanjali's own words, calls those powers obstacles to samadhi. He warned against treating them as the prize. The viral retelling keeps the dramatic chapter and quietly drops the warning. In October 2022, the Nobel Prize in Physics went to Alain Aspect, John Clauser, and Anton Zeilinger. The official citation from the Royal Swedish Academy awarded the prize for experiments with entangled photons that established the violation of Bell inequalities. Real, peer-reviewed, Nobel cited, but here is the precision the inflated content always loses. The effect is a measurement context phenomenon at the subatomic scale. It does not give anyone permission to claim consciousness creates the macroscopic world. The Nobel Committee did not say that. Aspect himself has been on record clarifying it. So here is what stays standing after the audit: a real meditation tradition, a 2,000-year-old text being studied empirically, a 2011 PNAS finding on the default mode network, a 2022 Nobel-recognized quantum result with strict scope, smaller than the viral pitch promised, real, and more useful than any miracle story because you can actually use it. Now your protocol, the source check. 1 question. Think of the last consciousness or science claim that genuinely moved you in the past 30 days. Can you name a single primary source for it? Not a video that referenced a study, not an article that linked to another article, the study itself, the original text, the specific paper. If you can, the claim earned its hold on you. If you cannot, you accepted a feeling and called it evidence. Pick the next claim that lands on you in the next 24 hours. Trace it to a primary source before you share it or use it. That is the whole protocol. It takes 10 minutes. It will change what you let into your mind for the rest of your life. The viewer who builds this habit will never need this channel to fact-check the next viral video. They will already be doing it themselves. And the niche will quietly stop being able to sell you mystique. That is the actual quantum architecture. It was never magic. It was attention, train,